Grade 5 Science. I am Petal Peters Kadir. I hope you are ready to have fun today because science, it's fun, it's cool, it's awesome, and it's everywhere. Our topic for today is the effects of drugs on the body. The objectives for this lesson are: identify useful or medicinal and harmful or recreational drugs. Discuss the effects of drugs on the body. Discuss the effects of smoking on the body. Questions. What is a drug? What are the types or groups of drugs? Describe each type or group of drug. Identify at least 2 effects of cigarette smoking. Try to find the answers to these questions in the following video.
Drugs are any chemicals that alter the way your body works. There are 2 main groups: medicinal and recreational. Drug companies make specific drugs to treat specific illnesses. Drugs can be used to treat physical or mental illnesses. Drugs prescribed by the doctor must be taken in the correct way, otherwise they can be dangerous. Many medicines have a long list of side effects that can occur, for example headaches and vomiting. There are many different types of medicinal drugs. For example, painkillers are used to treat the symptoms of an illness, and antibiotics are used to treat bacterial diseases. Recreational drugs are taken for personal enjoyment, but these fall into 2 groups: illegal recreational drugs and legal recreational drugs. Cannabis, cocaine, ecstasy, and heroin are just a few examples of illegal recreational drugs. They are very dangerous and can cause serious long-term damage to health and even death. Caffeine, alcohol, and nicotine are all examples of legal recreational drugs. But just because they're legal for adults, it doesn't mean they're good for you. Some legal recreational drugs can cause long-term damage to your health and even death. Alcohol is a depressant, and it slows down the messages between your brain and your body. The main chemical in alcohol is called ethanol. Drinking excessive amounts of alcohol can damage your health. The liver is one of the main organs to be affected by excess alcohol consumption. The liver breaks down ethanol so that it can be safely excreted from the body. Excess alcohol consumption leads to liver damage and a condition called cirrhosis. People suffering from cirrhosis have permanent liver damage, which means that the liver can't break down and remove harmful chemicals. The government guidelines recommend that women do not consume more than 2 units of alcohol a day. Men should not consume more than 3 units per day. But these are just guidelines, as they will depend on the height and weight of the person. Importantly, pregnant women must not drink alcohol, as it can damage the unborn baby. Smoking is another legal recreational drug for adults. Cigarettes contain many chemicals that are harmful to health. These include tar, a sticky substance that contains cancer-causing chemicals; nicotine, an addictive drug. Nicotine is a stimulant that increases your heart rate and speeds up your reactions; and carbon monoxide, a poisonous gas that binds to red blood cells, reducing the amount of oxygen that can be carried around your body. Smoking reduces your life expectancy and can cause a number of diseases, including lung cancer, emphysema, heart disease, and respiratory infections. Smoking also damages ciliated cells in your airways. This makes it more difficult to remove mucus from your airways. When using medicinal or recreational drugs, there is a risk of becoming addicted to the drug. This means that you are dependent on the drug and feel like you have to take this regularly to function normally in your day-to-day life. If a dependent person doesn't take the drug regularly, they will experience withdrawal symptoms, for example shaking, headaches, or sweating.
From the video, we learned that drugs are chemical substances that change how the body and mind work. Drugs are classified as useful or medicinal and recreational or harmful. Medicinal or useful drugs treat diseases, promote healing, and relieve pain. Useful drugs include over-the-counter drugs or OTC and prescribed drugs or medicine. In the picture, you can see some examples of these drugs. Harmful or recreational drugs alter the functions of the brain, are habit-forming or addictive, affect several bodily functions, affect social lives. Harmful drugs include alcohol, nicotine from tobacco, caffeine from coffee and tea, marijuana, also known as ganja, weed, and joint, and cocaine, also known as coke, crack, and white lady. You can see some examples of these drugs in the picture. Effects of cigarette smoking. Cigarette smoke contains nicotine, tar, and carbon monoxide. Nicotine makes smoking addictive, raises heart rate, and raises blood pressure. Tar sticks to the cells in the lungs, causing damage, cancer, smoker's cough, and reduction of oxygen intake. Carbon monoxide causes breathlessness, tiredness, and is poisonous. Let us look at these pictures. A is a non-smoker's lung, and B is a smoker's lung. In the smoker's lung, you can see it's discolored and dark from the chemicals present in cigarette smoke. Let us answer these questions. 1. Study the chart and complete it by writing in the correct answers. In the chart, you can see it begins with drugs, then the types of drugs. We have useful written in. You will write in the other type. On the useful, examples, over-the-counter drugs, and under the other type of drug, marijuana. Did you come up with these answers? The types of drugs, useful and harmful was the missing answer. Examples of useful drugs, over-the-counter drugs, and prescribed drugs. Example of harmful drugs, marijuana, and either tobacco, alcohol, cocaine, or caffeine. Number 2, study the picture and answer the question. In the picture, we see two students, Mary and Mark. Mary has a cigarette in her hand, and Mark has a lighter. Mary said, "We are having fun. Mark, join us." Explain to Mary and Mark 2 effects of cigarette smoking will have on their bodies. Explain to Mary and Mark 2 effects cigarette smoking will have on their bodies. In your explanation, did you highlight any 2 of these? Raises heart rate, raises blood pressure, breathlessness, lung cancer, damage to the respiratory organs, or smoker's cough? Very good. Review. In this lesson, we learned that drugs are chemical substances that changes how the body and mind work. There are 2 types or groups of drugs: useful or medicinal, and harmful or recreational. Useful drugs are used to treat diseases, relieve pain, and promote healing. Harmful drugs are addictive, and they alter the function of the brain and body. Some effects of smoking are increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, lung cancer, breathlessness, and smoker's cough. Time to wrap up. Remember, boys and girls, say no to drugs. Use medicinal or useful drugs as directed by a doctor or on the labels. Science is all around us. See you next time. Goodbye.